Welcome back to the KCTV5 Live Desk. I'm Katie Bird. It is 7 o'clock in the local primary election. Polls have closed on both sides of the state line. I'm joined by our reporter, Betsy Webster, who is at the Open Door Baptist Church out in Wyandotte County. Betsy, how was the turnout today?
Well, it's people are turning out, but they're not turning out in droves for sure. And that's not surprising. This is a local primary. They don't usually draw a lot of voters, but the election commissioner said that he has been getting a lot more questions from voters than usual. That is some form of engagement, some indication that perhaps there is more engagement this go around. And I'll tell you that most of the questions, he said, have been about the race for KCK mayor.
So what kind of questions have they been getting?
Well, primarily, why are there so many candidates for mayor? And well, the answer to that is because this is a primary, not a general election. Many people who want to run can run. And then they ask about how the primary works. I could fill you in on that if you'd like.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, let's take a look at the candidates. There are 6 of them, and we've got 2 current elected officials and several former and current non-elected unified government employees that are running. The current mayor is not seeking a second term, so this is wide open. As for how it works, well, this is not a Republican-Democrat thing. It is an open primary, so the top 2 vote getters will then go on to run in the general election in November.
Betsy, thank you. So do they anticipate this to be a long night?
Oh, absolutely not. He said he expects about 7:15 is when we're going to, the turnout is really not very big in these sorts of elections. The people who are voting, though, really care about what they're voting for, and that is oh so important that those people are involved. But he expects that by 7:15 we're going to get all of the advance voting, the mail-in ballots and the people who did advance early voting. And we did have a lot more people doing advance early voting in this election cycle than we did in 2021, in August of 2021, the last time they had a primary for mayor. So that's going to come in at 7:15, and then he expects to have the unofficial final tally sometime around 8. It's unofficial because those mail-in ballots, as long as they were postmarked today, they can be counted as late as Friday, so they need to give those a few days to come in. Katie?
Betsy, thank you. And I know that the Wyandotte County mayoral race is not the only one in the county. I know there are the sheriff's and the commissioner's race as well, so we can expect those results shortly too.
Yes, and one position for Board of Public Utilities is also on the ballot.
Perfect. Betsy, thank you so much. Welcome back to the KCTV5 Live Desk. I'm Katie Bird. If you're just now joining us, you just heard from our reporter, Betsy Webster. She is out at the Open Doors Baptist Church. The polls have just closed in Wyandotte County, as well as Jackson County, Missouri, Platte County, Missouri, Cass County, Missouri, as well as Oak Grove. If you're just now joining us, I'm going to go ahead and break down the conversation that I had with Betsy. While there are many races tonight, the biggest one is the race for the next Kansas City, Kansas mayor. Now, back in 2024, Mayor Tyrone Gardner announced that he will not be running to become the mayor again. That means 6 candidates are running to take his place. I'm going to break down each of them for you. And just as a reminder, if you are still in line out at the polls, you are still able to vote. Even though they technically have closed at 7, it does not count if you are still in line. That's just important to take note of if you happen to be streaming this newscast out there in line tonight. So the first candidate is Tom Burrows, and he is currently working for the Unified Government of Kansas City, Kansas as a commissioner. Before that, he spent nearly 30 years in the Kansas House of Representatives. Next up, we have Mark Gilstrap. He is a retired Unified Government employee as well. and a former state senator. Next up, we have Rose Mulvaney Henry. She is a member of the Board of Public Utilities, and she's a telecommunications lawyer as well. Next up, we have Gwendolyn Thomas. She has been working for the Unified Government of Kansas City, Kansas since 1997, so it's almost been 30 years now. She was first an administrative assistant to the Unified Government, and now she is a program coordinator. I have two more candidates I'm going to give you a rundown on. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and direct you to the KCTV5 website. We actually have an election guide for voters both in Kansas and Missouri. You can get that on the KCTV5 website or the KCTV5 News app. It has sample ballots and what you would have needed today as far as identification, as well as all of the races that we will be tracking here in the newsroom tonight. Now I'm going to go ahead and take you here. You can see a rundown of the 6 candidates running to take Mayor Tyrone Garner's place. Next up, we have Crystal Watson. She currently leads a nonprofit that assists the Kansas City, Kansas public schools. Before that, she was the CEO of Heartland Black Chamber for 12 years, and she was also the deputy chief of staff for Mayor Dave Alvey. Our last candidate is Janice Witt. She's actually an activist and business owner who also ran for mayor in 2021. And if you are new to this stream and you didn't hear my conversation with Betsy earlier, she explained how this election is going to work. So there are 6 candidates right now. This is going to break it down and condense it to the final top 2 candidates. Those 2 candidates will go on to the general election in November. Now, I want to go ahead and direct you back to the KCTV5 website because there is some very helpful information on the other races, not only in Wyandotte County, but also in counties and cities on the Missouri side of the metro as well. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and give you a breakdown of who's running for the next Wyandotte County Sheriff. Currently, the sheriff is Daniel Soptic, but David Carney and Celicia Towers are running as well. Along with this, Wyandotte County voters are electing 1 at-large commissioner in District 2 and 3 other commissioners for Districts 1, 5, and 8. And make sure you stay tuned on the KCTV5 News app because even though we don't go on air until 10 o'clock, we will be keeping you posted with the latest updates in all of these elections throughout the evening, so you don't have to wait until the next broadcast. Again, KCTV5 Plus is portable, so you can get it on your phone, on Roku, your laptop, anywhere you are. If you have service, you can tune in to KCTV5 Plus. Now, the polls have been open in certain places for 8 days, and yesterday, our reporter Nija Hood went out and talked to some voters who were letting their voices be heard early. Go ahead and take a listen in just a second here.
And that's what I tell my children.
At the age of 83, Christine Allen has voted in more Wyandotte County elections than she can count. With each passing year, she's developed a deeper sense of its purpose.
It means a lot to me because we need to understand the young people are not voting. We need to interest them in voting. They feel that they are being let down because they're not making enough money.
According to the Wyandotte County Election Office, early in-person voting numbers have been steadily growing with a 15 to 20% turnout in this election. 4 years ago, turnout was a third of that. Some voters say they see this growth as progress.
Just fantastic. For Wyandotte County, who traditionally have a low turnout, for it to be up the way it is, I think people are interested, they're engaged, they want to know what's going on in the community.
The Wyandotte County Election Office attributes increased voter turnout to a heightened interest in the KCK mayoral race. For voters like Robert Martinez, he says his interest started at home.
My father, who is an original Dot from Argentina, he lives with us now. He's 91 years old.
He says he voted early so he'd have more time to accompany his father on election day when it's his turn.
He says, son, I don't know who I'm voting for, but I'm going to vote.
Yes.
So we have to do this early for us, and then tomorrow he'll be in line. He wants to come out on voting day. That's important to him. It's a tradition thing.
It's a long-standing tradition rooted in a fundamental right he encourages others to exercise.
People fought for this right. Get out and exercise your right. Absolutely. Stay informed, too.
You just heard from our reporter, Nija Hood. She spoke with voters yesterday who showed out early. They had a very important message. They encourage everyone, regardless of their age, if they are eligible to vote, that they should get out there to allow their voices to be heard. Now, our reporter Nathan Brennan was also speaking with voters earlier today. Let's hear what they have to say next.
We've got to get some things under control. Our tax rates are a little bit high for the amount of infrastructure and things needed.
It's not the usual property taxes that everyone talks about. For me, it's actually being able to fund our public services, our first responders, and everything that the county uses, whether we're on the eastern side of the county or the western side of the county.
If you are just now joining us, the polls have closed in both Kansas and Missouri. This is an off year, which means that the races today are mostly municipal and bond issues. But regardless that this is a smaller election, voters still care just as much. I'm going to go ahead and take you back to the KCTV5 website. I'm going to go ahead and break down, if you're just now joining us, the 6 representatives running for mayor. Now, if you are unfamiliar with how this will play out in Wyandotte County tonight, there are 6 candidates right now. The voting is going to eliminate 4. There will be 2 candidates left. Those final 2 candidates will make it to the general election in November, where then there will be a winner and a brand new mayor of Kansas City, Kansas. This came after, back in 2024 November, current Kansas City, Kansas Mayor Tyrone Garner announced that he was not going to run for re-election. So we now have 6 candidates who are all fighting for the spot to become the city of Kansas City, Kansas's next mayor. First up, we have Tom Burrows. He is a current Unified Government Commissioner. Before that, he spent nearly 3 decades in the Kansas House of Representatives. Now, we just received word that the first results are in. This is in the Jackson County special election. This is the absentee ballots that they have started counting. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up in just a second, so stay tuned. We'll be right with you.
How would you like to cast your ballot today? By touchscreen? Okay. Touchscreen. You did it before? You did touchscreen before? Hi, how are you?
All right, there you go.
Welcome back to the KCTV5 Live Desk. I'm Katie Bird. The polls have closed at 7. We're already getting the results in the Jackson County special election. Go ahead and take a look at your screen. On the Missouri side, voters today voted on if there would be a tax increase in Raytown. This would increase a sales tax to funding local parks and storm water control at an increased rate of 0.25 of 1%. You can see these results are starting to roll in. 66% of voters voted in favor for increasing the sales tax, but 33% of voters said that they do not want to increase this sales tax. Now, obviously, we only have about 150 votes so far, and this is of absentee voters, but make sure to stay tuned on the KCTV5 news app or streaming website so you can stay up to date with this information as we get it right here in our newsroom. Now I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of the other races. Go ahead and take a look at your screen here in just a second. You're currently looking at the KCTV5 Election Day Guide. There are races. They're currently tallying up the results for the Wyandotte County mayoral race, along with other elections in Wyandotte County, as well as Cass County, Platte County, and Jackson County, Missouri. Now, if you're just joining us, we have already started, results have started trickling in from the Jackson County special election. These are from absentee ballots, and just a minute ago, there were already 8% of the results reported in to us. I spoke with our reporter, Betsy Webster, earlier. She said that they are not anticipating this to be a long night for any of these elections, since it is a local primary. But regardless, it's still just as important as any election. So if you are wanting to know what is being voted on tonight, go ahead and take a look at your screen. Here, the most important and talked about race we are covering is the race for the Wyandotte County mayor. Back in 2024, just in November last fall, Mayor Tyrone Garner announced that he wasn't going to seek re-election to continue to be the mayor of Wyandotte County. So this means 6 candidates are fighting to take his place. I want to go ahead and give you a rundown of these 6 candidates. There are 2 men and 4 women running to become the next mayor of Kansas City, Kansas. First one is Tom Burrows. He is currently a city employee. He is a unified government commissioner. Before that, he spent nearly 3 decades in the Kansas House of Representatives. Next up, there is Mark Gilstrap. He's a retired unified government employee as well. And he was also a former state senator in the state of Kansas. Now, it is important to note as well that there are links. If you want to learn more about each of these candidates, all you have to do is go to the KCTV5 website and click on these links, and it will pull up another page with more information on not only the election, but the candidates as well. Next up, we have Rose Mulvaney Henry. She is currently on the Board of Public Utilities, and she's a telecommunications lawyer. We have 3 candidates left. I'm going to give you a rundown. Gwendolyn Thomas has been working for the unified government since 1997. She first started out as an administrative assistant, and now she's worked her way up to being a program coordinator. Crystal Watson currently leads a nonprofit that assists Kansas City, Kansas public schools, and before that, she was the CEO of the Heartland Black Chamber for 12 years and was a deputy chief of staff for the unified government mayor, Dave Alvey. Now, last but certainly not least, we have Janice Witt. She's an activist and a business owner who also ran for mayor back in 2021. Now, if you're just now joining us, the results are already starting to trickle in. I'm going to go ahead and pull those up for you now.